Okay, now let's do some examples where we're able to determine what lines are parallel based on the information that they give us. First of all, I want to review something about naming lines. If I have a couple of lines like this and I put letters A, B, C, and D, am I naming angles? What are those capital letters naming? Those capital letters are not naming angles. The capital letters are naming points where the lines cross. Okay? So I have 4 lines in my picture, and it looks like these 2 could be parallel, and it looks like these 2 could be parallel, right? But do we know for sure that they're parallel? No, not without something else that tells us they are. So here I'm going to throw something into one of our problems. Let's do this congruent to this. Now I've just told you that 2 of the angles are congruent. Is that enough to tell me that 2 of the lines are parallel? Okay, go back to the theorems and postulates we just learned. If these angles are congruent, is that enough to prove that some of the lines are parallel? Yes, it is. Which theorem does this one go with? What type of angles are these? These are alternate interior angles. So since the alternate interior angles are congruent, the second theorem we learned says then the lines are parallel. But which lines would it be? Would it be this set of lines that we know is parallel, or this set of lines that we know is parallel? The horizontal ones or the vertical ones? Horizontal or vertical? Let me do something and see if you still think it's the vertical ones. Since here's where the angles are, do I need this line at all? Or can those angles still exist without that line even there? So those angles still exist without that line even there at all, right? So if that line doesn't even need to be there, which lines must be the ones that are parallel? It's actually the horizontal ones, right? How do we name these lines so that we can answer this question? The question is, which lines are parallel? How do we answer the question? How do we name the lines so that we're naming this line and this line as parallel? Do you know? AC with a line over the top is parallel to BD with a line over the top. And you can just use this little symbol for parallel. Now remember, giving a reason is always half of the answer. So what was the reason for this? What type of angle pair are we working with here? They are alternate interior. So because alternate interior angles are congruent. Okay, so that goes right along with theorem number 2. We've used theorem 2 to prove those lines parallel. Alright, that's how your answers are going to look on your assignment today. Let's try a few others. The rest of your assignment, instead of looking like that, the rest of your assignment has a picture where they've numbered the angles, where they've named the lines with letters like L and M and A and B. Now, do you have to name these lines using 2 points like we did here? No, these lines can just be named with the lowercase letters. Okay? I don't remember what order they numbered stuff in your problems in the book, so I'm just going to number these and we'll go with it for our examples. But the numbers might be different than the ones on the problem in your book. I don't remember. Okay. Basically, they give you a picture similar to this, and then there's like 12 questions just about this picture. Each one individually is going to have an answer similar to this one. Okay? Let's look at some examples. If I tell you that angle 6 plus angle 7 equals 180 degrees, which lines can you tell are parallel from that, and why? I tell you that angle 6 and angle 7 add up to 180 degrees, which lines can we tell are parallel and why? Marina, do you know? Alex, do you know? If angle 6 and angle 7 add up to 180, which lines are going to be parallel? We name lines with the lowercase letters that are written here. The numbers are the angles. Okay, let me give you a hint. Since angles 6 and 7 are on this line, do we even need that line? We don't need it at all, right? Because those angles exist without that line. But those angles cannot exist without these two lines. So which lines are parallel? A and B. Good. A is parallel to B because what? What type of angle pair is this? Nope. These are same side interior. Good. I heard someone say that. Because same side interior angles are the ones that add up to 180, right? So anytime there's something adding up to 180, it's either going to be same side interior on this assignment or it'll be none. Let's try one that's none so you kind of see the difference. Let's say angle 9 plus angle 10 equals 180. So I already gave you the answer for that one. Angle 9 and 10 add up to 180 because they're adjacent. They're a linear pair, so that's true, right? However, that doesn't prove anything because angle 9 and angle 10 are just on these lines right here. They don't require this line, nor do they require that line. Is there anything left that could be parallel? No, because 9 and 10 are simply just here on this intersection together. And so that one you would just say that you can't tell if any of them are parallel, or you could say none. Okay? So to answer the question which lines are parallel, you can't tell because they are simply adjacent angles. If you want to go ahead and give a reason for that, I would like you to, if you can. Not all of them will have an obvious reason. Okay, let's try another one, see what you can do with this. How about angle 1 is congruent to angle 9? Angle 1 is congruent to angle 9. Which lines can you tell are parallel and why? Angle 1 is congruent to angle 9. Think about what type of angle pair it is. Notice what lines they share. They are both on this transversal, which is A. One of them is on line L, and the other one uses line M. So line B is not used at all, right? So that one isn't needed at all. So that should help you figure out which ones are parallel. Yeah, has to be L parallel to M because, and I heard someone say the answer, because they are corresponding angles. So every question, every answer on your assignment today is going to be a pair of parallel lines and then a reason, or the answer that you can't tell, and possibly a reason if you know what it is. Do you need another example, or do you get the idea? Do you want to do one more? Or two more? Couple more? Okay, let's do at least one more. Angle 3 is congruent to angle 8. No one knows if I might call on you, so you should all be looking at them. Melanie? How come? So we can't tell if any of the lines are parallel because angle 3 and angle 8 are vertical angles and they only require this set of crossing lines and they don't require either of the lines that could be parallel, right? Okay, last example we're going to do. Let's do angle 3 is congruent to angle 12. I chose a tricky one this time. Angle 3 is over here on these two intersecting lines. Angle 12 is up here on these two intersecting lines. Do they share a transversal at all? Are they related at all? No, there is no relationship between those angles. So therefore we can't tell because there is no relationship. They are not on the same transversal. No relationship. Okay? So I wanted to throw that hard one at you. So we did one today that was corresponding. We did one that worked that was same side interior. On the first example, we did one that was alternate interior. And then we did a bunch that didn't work. So hopefully that's enough to be able to do your assignment and understand what you're doing.